The Fragility of Civilization, Reflections from the End is Always Near by Dan Carlin. Have you ever looked at the world around you and wondered just how close we are to the edge? Not just the edge of progress, but the edge of survival itself. The End is Always Near, written by Dan Carlin, is a chilling exploration of moments in history when humanity stared into the abyss, teetering dangerously close to total collapse. It's a story of resilience, destruction, and the fine line between stability and chaos, a line that still exists today. Welcome to Psyche in Words, where we explore the connections between timeless stories and personal growth. If you're someone who craves thought-provoking ideas that challenge the way you see the world, make sure to hit subscribe and join our growing community of seekers and thinkers. Let's take a journey through Dan Carlin's powerful narrative and uncover what history's darkest moments can teach us about ourselves. Moments at the edge of collapse. At the heart of The End is Always Near lies a haunting truth. Humanity has always flirted with disaster. Carlin paints vivid scenes of empires rising to unimaginable heights, only to crumble under their own weight. He brings us back to the fall of Rome, a story not of sudden destruction, but a slow unraveling caused by greed, corruption, and external pressure. He asks us to consider, are we any wiser today? The book delves into pandemics, like the Black Death, a plague that wiped out nearly half the population of Europe. Carlin reminds us that in the face of disease and death, societies can transform. The chaos of pandemics was not just about survival, but also about how communities rebuilt themselves, forever changed. Sound familiar? In today's modern world, echoes of these pandemics are felt, a chilling reminder of history's cyclical nature. One of the most powerful segments explores nuclear war during the Cold War era. Carlin doesn't just tell stories of politicians in high-stakes standoffs. He asks us to imagine what it felt like to live in a time when the end could arrive at any moment with the push of a button. The sheer power humanity possesses is awe-inspiring and terrifying. And this theme runs throughout the book. How do we handle such power without destroying ourselves? Carlin's stories are not linear. They jump across centuries and continents, yet they all share a common thread. Resilience and destruction are two sides of the same coin. Whether it's war, economic collapse, or societal decay, these moments of crisis have shaped who we are. They are the scars of humanity, warnings etched in the history books. One line in particular captures the essence of the book. History is littered with warnings. The question is whether we will listen. What we can learn about resilience and ourselves. At first glance, The End is Always Near might seem like a book about societies and nations, but beneath its surface, Carlin offers lessons that resonate deeply on a personal level. After all, just as empires collapse, we too face moments of crisis, moments when everything feels like it's falling apart. One of the book's clearest lessons is about resilience in chaos. Throughout history, humans have survived unimaginable horrors, wars, diseases, and natural disasters. These challenges remind us that the ability to adapt is hardwired into our nature. On a personal level, this same resilience can help us overcome life's hardest trials. Whether it's a personal loss, a financial setback, or a mental health struggle, the lesson is clear. Strength is born in adversity. When chaos comes knocking, focus on what you can control. Small, steady actions can rebuild even the most shattered worlds. Carlin also reminds us of the fragility of stability. Civilizations that believed themselves invincible, like Rome or ancient Mesopotamia, were often the ones most vulnerable to collapse. In our lives, comfort and routine can lull us into complacency. But change is inevitable. Recognizing the impermanence of stability allows us to prepare mentally and emotionally for life's storms. Gratitude becomes a powerful tool. Recognize the blessings of today, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Another striking reflection is on power and responsibility. Nuclear weapons gave humanity unmatched destructive power, an ability to erase entire cities in moments. Similarly, in our personal lives, we often hold great strengths that, if misused, can become weaknesses. Awareness of this duality is key. Self-reflection becomes critical. What am I capable of, and how can I use my strengths wisely? Lastly, the book teaches us about learning from the past. History repeats itself because people often forget the lessons of those who came before. On a personal level, this reminds us to see setbacks not as failures, but as teachers. Each moment of pain carries a lesson if we're willing to listen. Who is Dan Carlin? To understand why the end is always near resonates so deeply, we need to know the voice behind it. Dan Carlin is not your typical historian. He doesn't hold a PhD, nor does he claim to be an academic. Instead, Carlin is a storyteller, a master of transforming history into something vibrant, gripping, and alive. Carlin began his career as a radio broadcaster, but his passion for history led him to create Hardcore History, one of the most popular podcasts in the world. Through hours-long episodes, he brings the past to life, asking bold, often unsettling questions. He doesn't just recite dates and facts, he explores emotions, perspectives, and the human condition. In The End Is Always Near, Carlin adapts his spoken style into the written word, capturing the same intensity that made his podcast legendary. His storytelling is vivid, his curiosity infectious, and his reflections profound. What sets Dan Carlin apart is his willingness to challenge conventional narratives. He doesn't shy away from asking questions like, how close are we to repeating history's greatest mistakes? Or, are we truly as safe as we think? He believes that by examining the darkest moments of our past, we can better understand how to navigate an uncertain future. Final thoughts. What can we take away? The End Is Always Near is more than just a history book. It's a mirror held up to humanity, reflecting both our brilliance and our flaws. It's a reminder that life, progress, and stability are fragile, yet we possess the strength to endure. The stories of collapse and survival remind us that while life may throw chaos our way, resilience is always possible. These lessons apply not just to nations but to each of us. How we approach adversity, how we prepare for uncertainty, and how we grow stronger in the face of challenges. At Psyche in Words, we believe that history isn't just about the past. It's a guide for how to live more purposefully in the present. If you've enjoyed this exploration of Dan Carlin's work, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Together, we'll continue to explore ideas that inspire growth, reflection, and resilience. Tell us in the comments, what's one lesson from history that you think we should never forget? Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and remember, even when the end seems near, there's always a path forward. Stay curious, stay resilient, and we'll see you in the next video.